almost. And here we see Vincent Keymer with a huge role to play in this final game. It's going to be a handshake any second. There we go. And yeah, huge clash for Pragg. He nearly won the World Cup, of course, in 2023. That would have been a big breakthrough for him. It was a big breakthrough event, getting to the candidates, but yet to really scale the very heights.
Let's do it, because the first imbalance in the position is already on, where the bishop pair has been given to Vincent Keymer voluntarily by Pragg. So let's start. It started with the king's pawn opening and the caro, as you mentioned. Where's Yobi when we need her? It's the caro-kann on the board and knight f3. So not immediately going for the center advance that we see so often. Instead, it's Pragg who strikes with d5 here. David, are you surprised to not see white expand in the center but choose this offbeat idea, allowing black to get to that trade first?
Yeah, it always surprises me actually when an ambitious player plays this system against the caro-kann. So we call it the two knights variation, where white's knights come out. But yeah, it normally is a reaction of someone who is surprised, who doesn't want to debate the main lines. Like you said, the advanced variation is the most trendy variation in the caro-kann these days. I play the caro myself, and like 90% of opponents play either the advanced variation or the exchange variation. But yeah, this two-knight system allows black's bishop out, and as we see, the bishop gets exchanged very quickly after it's kicked back. Pawn to h3, and yeah, black could retreat the bishop, but that would have led to some very complicated play, allowing white to expand. Instead, black, yeah, bishop to h5, for example, maybe we just show that, would have allowed an exchange on d5, and white would have played g4, started to kick back the black bishop, knight to e5, and bishop b5 check is coming, h4 is coming. It is a bit scary. So Pragg, yeah, avoiding this wisely, Tanya.
This looks terrifying to start with. Well, unless you're completely prepared in this opening, but Pragg had a more solid approach. He trades off, gives up the bishop pair, but for speedy development. And the dog squad bishop is about to develop itself. Well, c5 looks like a nice square to get it out to before you decide whether you'd like to place your knight in front of the king on e7 or perhaps to f6. Whenever you put your knight on f6, you have to always watch out for the e5 push.
Yeah, and maybe just to highlight that, we can show a couple of more moves, because bishop d4 is, knight to f6, castles, and bishop to b4 is one variation, and that's where this e5 move you mentioned comes with extra power. And this is one thing I remember from years back. e5, the knight moves, and queen to g4, whoops, it's a double attack, and black is... time on the clock. The white bishop, if it ever moves, would allow the black queen to jump out with a check. So you have to be a bit careful about moving your bishop out the way right now. I don't think taking this pawn does the business yet. Vincent retreats his queen. Very classy move. He doesn't need to rush. Pragg is totally paralyzed in the corner there. He can never take the white pawn due to an immediate checkmate on the h7 square. Oh, Pragg's bishop though. I think he's just zugzwanged here, Tanya. The black bishop has no safe squares to go to. It's always going to end up on a square. It can get attacked.
Wow, and he's again down to under 10 seconds. And in these kind of positions, it's just impossible to make the right move if it even exists, right? Because you're looking at all these checks. Pawn takes pawn, your bishop hanging, Pragg moves the queen away. David, one more time, we're so close to playoffs in this one. Pragg almost survived it.
Tanya, it's a forced checkmate. Vincent spots it. He can do it with a series of checks. We see a trade. The white queen is going to slide back now on the diagonal. There we go. As soon as the black king moves, it will get checked by the white bishop. Checkmate's coming. Pragg's about to resign. We're going to tie breaks. Gukesh is back in the tournament.
And Pragg knows it. It's over in 2 moves. The bishop check followed by checkmate, and as the realization dawns on Pragg, and he was so close to saving this one. David, this is heartbreaking to watch. A 6-7 hour battle here, and it's about to end right now.
There we go. It is a handshake. Praggnanandhaa resigns. Vincent Keymer, congratulations to him. He takes the win. He ends the tournament on a high. Very impressive from the German Grandmaster there. Never relented in his pressure. But for Praggnanandhaa, it's heartbreak. He's going to have to do it all over again on the brink of tournament victory. He was pegged back, and